So how we get our news? So I think I said in an earlier video or some shit, or like basically the time I was high and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna record. Um, that like kids get their news from rappers and adults get their news from the puppets. Either way, they're both clowns in their circus. Divide and conquer. That's what they have. The both colors. People don't really understand the color. Uh, coding behind the American flag. It's it's definitely something to look up. Just can point out there's 13. 13 is not a good number, homies. I always say the November 12th thing because it's my birthday. It's a cycle, 12 zodiacs, and it repeats. 13's like, regeneration and like trying to be a step ahead of, the cycle and shit. I always say that the devil can't, predict the future. He can, we all know all the same shit, but the only person that knows what's gonna happen is God, bro. So I say, like, you live so far in the future. What's happening in the present is just the will of God. It's easy shit, because you're so far ahead in the future. You get there eventually, the future. But yeah, where we get our news, dude. So like, well, how like people don't really know like weed like didn't kill you until like 2015. If it wasn't for Vice, the weed quit it guy. There was like, the cool weed guy that like didn't smoke too much in his, and then there's this fucking serious dude that I think he did it to like, protect his energy. Uh, Also, it's just like Hamilton Morris, dude, Molecule Man, damn near the superhero of the Molecule Man. They say in Midnight Gospel, like first episode, they're making jokes about like legalization of marijuana, opiates, and shit, and how death's going down, and it's just fucking, it's like 80% less deaths, and it's just like, oh well, we don't know the facts. Like, what are the facts? Like, it's just it's all fucked, dude. Yeah, and they're saying like it's not, drugs aren't good or bad. It's how you use them and shit. You know, I also can say the same thing about like psychic ability. You know, the magic you draw, cast. Will it's from the cosmos. Uh, you know, same principle, definitely for sure. Everything in moderation. Condition your mind to change, evolve, and create. This small podcast is brought to you by Awoken to tell you about news, how we get it. Like Vice, Psych Substance, the guy who literally taught humanity about how to use psychedelics properly. Um, Adam, he's got 2 channels, in Swim and Psych Substance. How we get your news, ODD TV, Matt Priscilla, used to be in Colorado, from basically day one since that bitch was legalized. He been providing us with the truth. Uh, Also a truth rapper as well. He's got Never Sleep Again 1 and 2. Uh, album in making probably. Uh, Fucking yeah, that's how we get the news, dude. And they like on God, bro. Like there's different levels to it, and like we get there's like DMT news, like local breaking news from Coldplay. Like they'll just like drop a song or whatever, and it has so much like fucking like God in it, bro. Like so much DMT, like you know dimethyl tryptamine, the dream molecule. Or you get your news from like Vice, Psych Substance, Joe Rogan. A funny situation. Uh, Totally watchable content, totally legit. I don't know my theories because it is a conspiracy, you know, channel. It's going to be heavily disputed, and you have conspiracy about conspiracy theorists. that, he probably had everything planned out on the TV, if not, had an agreement with the person before they went on. Maybe he's just interviewing those people, but these are news portals to put information out there. Joe Rogan came out, and I was like 16, 20, 16, 17, and I was like, shit, like I hop on fucking a podcast, freestyle on Sway's Universe, Awoken, like back in like when Awoken shit used to be cool. Then I just like, years go by, Biden president, like, vaccine and war coming soon. I always say that, when I was 16, there was a prophecy I had that, I basically, fucking fucked myself over, but I was supposed to leave America before 2020 because I didn't know what was going to happen. Apparently it's supposed to be like, what the devil basically kind of fucked up and was in my area, like, when you like show yourself in those realms. I was like thinking to myself the other night, it was just like when I go, it's like the sixth like dimension for the first time. It was like a Antarctica. It was like a all snow, like with no foot tracks. Like no one's been up here before in these clouds. Like you go to the highest level of clouds or whatever. But I was like 13 when I like first went to these realms, and I was like, oh, no one's been here. I don't see any foot tracks. And then like over the years and years, this I smoke and I like travel and open up these portals and bridges and shit. You get scavengers, parasites. They come with you, if not already with you. And then they like break it down, decipher it, demodel it, reverse engineer how the fuck you got to that realm, that frequency. Then they take it over, and then they own it now. They own that, like, I guess, spiritual. They roam, So I always try to like, you could say take 2 steps ahead of your karma, stay ahead of your karma and shit, and like, make sure you don't let the demons know where you're coming from. If not, be scattered but focused, but structured, and fucking completely random, like the randomizer. I don't know. All right, so they're watching you through your phones, and it's really hard to do fucking one take videos, and then try to like, I was always thinking that if you are always living in the future, like so many steps ahead in the future, but when it catches back up to the present, because you're in so far in the future, it's just God's will at that point. Like the light just goes through you. Like the present isn't even the present. It's just the movement of light, or like a carrier cut through an ocean or some shit. But like, cause I got so much moves that I'm doing for the future. Damn near the present. It's just God's will. But it's gonna make this video about they're watching you through your phones, and there's just so much small clues out there, and like people don't understand, bro. And it's just a lot of them are bad. But I just seen that I guess this phone comes with a Google Lens app, and I was like, Lens. He's like, oh, search what you see. Like, yeah, I know about the like you can like look up, try to find a song, from Google by like playing a small clip of it or some shit. But searching what items are, like places and shit, and like this, the mass surveillance. You have these softwares like way before the new AI system, not the AI system using the 5G towers to like track where you're at, track your carbon, track your heart rate, your electrical, like your limbic system, your front primitive and your intellectual side of your brain, not the AI system that like watches your behavior, how you interact with the outside, cosmos, and tallies up your karma, and eventually, people die from COVID. The crown, maybe the 5G towers is a big system, like split the crown chakra away from the human being, so that we can't like be connected with our higher self or some shit. So that makes us guessing of all these different future possibilities, which is basically making us live in our dreams. I don't know. definitely a big reality shift in 5G. So there's an AI system that like tracks people with like, I would just have to say Facebook, uh, mostly, and that's why I always like to like deactivate my Facebook like during the week or even weeks at a time, when I don't need it and shit, and Messenger too sometimes. Um, yeah, just because just Facebook is different because they have like more information on you than anything. It's like when you pull up that app, like I used to say that how do I get this information? Well, like I said, it's so far in the future that it's just God's will at this point in the present. This is shit I wanted to get done when I was 16. I'm 20 and this is a responsibility. It's just something that, up late and, I can make something, basically like cook through into a cauldron, like entertainment, comedy, well, that's just more like from work experience, passing the time with like good comedy and shit, you adapt with that skill and shit. The video was really about how they're watching you through your phones and like uh, you know if you show so much of your flesh or your skin and shit, it'll start recording and then like it'll cut off and then if you're like showing so much of your like neck or whatever, and then they'll like send it in a mass like abundance and then they'll put it in your file or whatever, and then I feel like during like in the COVID, like everyone had like literally couldn't work for a month in March during the time of the spirit system areas when they're putting up 5G tires. While everyone was home from it was the first time in all the time. The conspiracy theorists saying like Trump's like killing all these like bad like corporate elite people, celebrity people, and I always think like the federal galacturation on the surface world, like there's like portals. Well, there probably still, or I was about to say now there is, but like elevators going down like in big cities, like connecting to underground luxuries, like, and there's like an impassable field or whatever. It's like they have trillions and trillions of dollars from society and shit. Like imagine infinite luxury and infinite like I was I didn't think it so recently, but they probably how to use all the they had probably Egypt was never really known for anything good. Egypt was pretty well known for slavery. Didn't have a good reputation throughout history. Neither does America. Neither does I was about to say how you treat your parents, bro. But fucking Awoken, right? Crazy, like last person you expect. Shit. Like how they start like calling you by your full name when you become like an adult, like after 18 or some shit, you start calling them by their name, and then like when you need help or you need like fucking literally anything, car insurance, like fucking like sitting down and just like getting your thoughts together to sit down, and look for like an apartment or a plan, what I'm saying? Like, fucking apartment, bro. Do a mortgage on a down payment on a house. Even if you have to fucking repay back the down payment, the whole echelon. Who knows how society is? You just gotta have the attitude that like it's the big Titan theory that we're all like there's nanobots. They're all nanobots connected, but there's like a different way that the phones are watching us back then and shit. Facebook has evolved and it's so fucked up, so evil. Like any message, takes a validity amount of intellectual effort to message. Like combating intellectuality and it just fucking it morphs your like screen like purple and blue light is obviously the spectrum of light that's the damaging, and if it flickers as well, usually LED screens like phones do, so it's flickering these high like velocity frequency fucking light spectrums, like over and like shredding up your retinas, dog, and like it's just crazy. So like this is about, you know, all the kinds of different film. I literally have a phone case and I put this little piece of paper over the front camera of my phone, or you know, probably tape or some shit. But I do so many of these dumbass videos on the spot because I'd be like, dude, I feel like spiritual, and like I need to like, you know, it's just crazy. I was thinking about it earlier. It's just like I have like crates and crates of this I call it forbidden knowledge, which is like shit no one's ever heard before because I've never heard of it before. So it's technically like undiscovered, but like there's so much like knowledge that's like not like relevant to like common sense or like daily life, that it's just like almost too in depth. Like even the most overthinking people can just like over fucking think too much. And the thing about overthinking is when you do overthink, you will thoughts. Like if you pray, like you cast out like intentions into the fucking cosmos. You know, it's like willing like some fucking crazy shit. Like how I'm trying to will for like my fucking self, you know, touring. If not, you know, eventually like I want to make cinematic videos. Right now I'm kind of stuck because I don't have like a camera. I only got the phone situation. But this is a good way to document information, if not a historical moment, which is a segment of 9 minutes. There's an AI system that like let's say 1,000,000 people died from COVID in 2020, or like in like so far or within a year. Well, shit, dude, I'm not even gonna post this 2 years from, so let's just say like 1,000,000 people from 2020 died from this COVID, and be like, so that was 1,000,000 souls that the devil took, and I fucking was like laughing about that shit, cause like, you know, COVID is like a tracking system for like takes all the old people, and if not, it's just an excuse for, you know, Elon Musk was joking on podcast saying like, you know, COVID, and I was like, that relates to like homeless people. Like, you know, we're just disappear COVID, you know, like people are inside COVID, you know, like my homie, broski, always used to say, that, you know, California, when he was fucking homeless, that there was always talk, you know, like the fucking homeless talk, was always saying like, you know, martial law is gonna come and then you have to be inside by a certain time, or like those people are basically gonna get like, you know, by like cyber police, like basically space police, like in the future, if they like have hover motorbikes or some shit. Like this fucking Elon Musk thing is like fucking, he could be straight nanobots, bro. No one even fucking knows. Like I know for a fact that like iPhones definitely have nanobots on the screens that you like straight bleed like all into your like existence and just evolve, and you can never get them out. Even like if you try to use all molecules of work to consciously make dimethyltryptamine throughout your whole body, their dream molecule, God molecule, even those can't, because they're like fucking viruses, but like they're like fucking entities, bro. It's like crazy. Like nanobots can like build other nanobots, like cells, dude. Like a cell, like cells create other cells and shit. So that's why I say smoke weed, because like it repairs. It doesn't. It makes sure that you don't get left with any shitty copies. So that's all it really does, because our cells are just like fucking down here, like, or like a plant, bro. You just like take water and like oxygen, just like creates a cell called like a life cell, a biomolecule, and then it dies. And it's like almost like uh, a very plant-based. I'm just making a vegan joke, but like it's all cosmological, uh, not mathematical. I always say philosophy is escape into self. Just trying to find reasons not to fucking talk to relatives at Christmas. It's fucking philosophy. Yeah, so escape. I'm gonna end the video with shit. What are these, bro? Who the fuck am I? I'm just a messenger. This isn't my knowledge. It just is. I'm just here talking, and I had the choice to put myself out there. Crucifixion, crucify. Yeah. They probably didn't have sandpaper back then. It must have been like really fucking. Well, I guess they made boats, but. So yeah, document. I always say like, it's just shit to be woke about. So this would be a freestyle. So like, I want to get into back to like songwriting, not just like, oh, okay, I can freestyle like 3 songs like Juice World or like the greats and shit, just freestyle like records and shit. But like, I mean, I only did it a couple times. Like, I could write in my head and remember the whole paragraph, and then I like probably like turn on my phone or whatever, and just fucking, you fuck with all these different light settings on your phone, especially brainwashing your like, and shit. So, video surveillance, pretty much all the people that made all the softwares though, they're dead because they made this tracking system to take people's souls easy on like autopilot for just sending people to hell. There's like tally up your karma tokens. So it's 5G, but they had another one before that in this video and selling that. Like, people don't understand. Like, people get more money for just the videos of like McDonald's and Walmarts and shit. Like, those films get like fucking more money than the stores make themselves. It's all fucked, bro. Yeah. So I just get creative with the dark shit and the light shit. Like, oh, like one positive thing, God, shit, is that like it's not really positive, it's semi-positive. Like Judas Iscariot, like after you fucking like killed Jesus, like was running away with like 22 tokens of silver. He's like probably remember like what his like parents taught him about like in the Old Testament, which was different. It's like how Joseph was sold in slavery. He's like, holy shit, I am the fucking prophecy. The prophecy comes true. Holy shit! And then he's like probably threw it on the ground, like ripped off, like ran up and like just was screaming and like flipping shit because he was maybe like woke him up all of a sudden like third eye awoken, experience and shit. It's like not only like where like the puzzle piece is set, but it was like the set moment for you to learn that like God has all the lessons planned for you for the 5 days of the week. But it's our choice to hear how much of that light we see. It's pretty much how much time we spend in the sun. If not like 20 minutes a day would be good. Yeah, 20-30 minutes. 40 if you have a dog. Just an excuse to get out. Just kick it on a couch. Outside couch. And there's a really cool show called Lucas Brothers Moving Co. It's just like came out only during the night times. I like watched like 2 times. My first time movie was like 13, 14. 2014. 15-ish. I don't know. It's crazy how much time though to make those. It's like, geez, it's like the slowest, but it's like fucking smoking show. But the better show now is, I always call out each time. Rick and Morty is a religion. Fucking, the creator was like on Facebook. He's like, people think it's a fucking religion. Regular life, and they argue about it. He's like, then go buy the merch, and I'm laughing my ass off as a like music artist. I'm like, that's hilarious, dude. Because people do like take it so seriously, but they don't like. Well, they wouldn't rep it. It's like a cartoon, but it's like so in depth. Shit, this dude has to like meditate on everything, and like also like everything he says and writes, and like also all the like how the train story or like Acid or like just like the plots, like where they're at themselves is like if you ever having a bad trip, I've had so many like it's like positive programming. Like if you find yourself in this situation where it's like the Citadel of Ricks are like, oh shit, like the like Rick where you split reality in half and it's two selves, like you guys move here, you guys move here, you guys are uncertain, like have all these uncertain infinite uncertainties, and then you just like push the button and you just snap back to one Rick. One thing that's consistent is that you don't give a shit or like whatever it is, and it it's even more in depth in Adventure Time. You could watch literally like the same season sober, the second time drunk, the second time drunk and high, and you know you'll get so much. It's a trip, bro. It's like one of the craziest accomplishments that's ever been done in human history is Adventure Time, and yeah, Midnight Gospel, fire. But it's only like maybe like 1/3 of like their whole season was like 1/3 of the effort put in of like if not 2 episodes of Rick and Morty. Like it was cool, the podcast idea, but yeah, they're just I like the jail one. The jail scene is really cool. I always remember that. And also when he said the elevator, the psychedelic elevator theory, that you know psychedelics take you on an elevator all the way up to the top floor, and you see this nice party. It's like a roof pool party, a lot of nice people, and you just close the door. The door closes, and you go down, and people, you know, there's you know, they say that you know sometimes you can go back down to floor 0, but then have the option to go back. You know about floor 1, but you can't go back to floor 20. But some people go to like negative, you know, the basement, you know, like below where they started. You know, they go all the way to the top and then they start lower. You know, it's crazy that the more that you know, the worse that it gets. But then if you know even more after knowing a lot, it gets better. It sucks. This is basically like why you don't make certain life decisions. You ask the universe so much. The third eye is basically having the open mind that miracles happen. And then you're like, oh, I'm open-minded that you're going to tell me everything. I'm open-minded. That's basically me. And, yeah. They say that, you know, the is and, like, the spirit guys, like, whatever, the robots, the machine elves in the DMT realm, you know, agree that, like, you know, devil was the most intellectual one, was supposed to lift up all the angels, you know, and just show each of them, you know, each other and God in a different way. Almost like how the Garden of Eden, like us and the animals were vegan, consisting as one on Earth and shit, and like language is built in like yeah. So if the devil was the most intellectual and Solomon was the most wise, wisdom guy in the world, it's possible that in 2000 the most knowledgeable guy, Awoken, came along. Because I'm really pushing the limits of like how you obtain and disperse information with like technology, you know, like listening to all the rap music, but I also like practice you know, spitting like high amounts of information I just like will into being creatively. I know I get really creative with all the dark shit, like, oh, they have underground luxuries and they have like laboratories like for research chemicals, laboratories for clones, and laboratories for slaves, and like laboratories for robots, laboratories for more clones, or laboratories for more research chemicals, and just laboratories and all the evil stuff and the underground luxuries and blah 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 and kingdom of rich kingdom, infinite technology power. Can't know like where you can get like 22 miles underneath surface America or whatever, like just in theory. Like there's like a invisible Tesla beam shield that like used to be like, you know, portals to get down in main cities, but like the Federation like spotted them all down, tracked them down, started collecting, putting these like space prisons and shit where they like slowly die like faster, or like had the choice to kill themselves. Like a lot of them do, and just go to hell faster. They're all like doomed or some shit. Like, yeah. You see, like you can like make contracts. You know, you basically just make yourself a promise in the morning when you wake up. You're gonna do one thing and get it done. Like I was not gonna make videos or freestyle anymore. I was gonna focus on writing and making records and beats and shit, and stop fucking around, because this is a freestyle, you know, and it's annoying. Imagine the people I live with, people I grew up with, other 4 siblings. Yeah, it's annoying as fuck, yo. Just the freestyle, my brain go at it. What it means to exist is a twist. Till you can. Throwing I do at a gas station. Why'd you waste that? We can get faded on the job. Anyways, yeah. If I don't record something, I feel like I'm not doing shit. Because how I live is with no structure. And almond milk over regular milk every day. Because dairy free is the key to gluten free, which eventually you'll get into vegan, and you'll see soy and polymer bad, and you'll just start levitating. Love you guys, whoever's watching this. I probably won't, because I'm a fucking be busy finally being productive.